Hey everyone, it's Liz. I'm back from vacation, feeling rested. Oh, I had such a great vacation. I'll talk all about that at the end if anybody wants to know. And I've got some stuff to share. Wow, it's been a long time. So let's start in with WIPGO. For September, which I think I didn't have a chance to talk about before I went away. Um, the two numbers called were 4 and 11. 4 for me was something that has a small number of stitches done. So, and sorry, there's gonna be a lot of bag crinkling because I am just not organized today. Shocker, right? Just back from a 3-week vacation, almost 4. So I worked on this charmed vineyard. That was my something I only had a tiny number of stitches done when I pulled this out. Just the little green in the middle and the house. That was all I had. So I started working on the lettering. This is a Heinzit chart or Hinzite, however you want to say it. I bought this years ago at, I think it was a cross stitch show back when they used to have those all the time. I'm doing it on linen. I have no idea what this piece of linen is, but it's working out to be about 18 stitches per inch. It's really you can see how it's very stiff, but it's working out good. So that was my first September project for WIPGO. Um, Second was number 11, What's Calling You? That's my favorite thing that I put on my board. If you do WIPGO and you don't have a free spot like that for yourself, do it. I love it when that comes up because I get to work on anything I want. So guess what I picked? Pirates of the Caribbean. Shocker. Cannot get enough of this. Here's where we're at. I know I need to fill in that little blue spot, but I had more fun putting their faces on. Can you blame me? This just has such great detail. It's gonna be whopping big though. Hey, I can actually get it into the screen pretty much side to side, not top to bottom. So yeah, this is gonna be huge. Don't care, I love it. So getting some more progress on that one. This is again done on an 18 count Witchelt. I know some people complain about Witchell, but I don't have a problem with it. Also, this pattern is by Mod Cross Stitch, in case anyone is interested. So that was WIPGO number 2 for September. For October, October 8 and 17. So interestingly, 8 was a smaller project. That was what I had on my board. And so while I was on my cruise, I had some small Mill Hill kits with me. Anyone who follows me on Instagram saw my posts of myself sitting out in the sun doing some stitching. So that worked for my first October call, and it's done. I have a finish. Not a full finish yet. It will get there though. I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with this. I'm thinking maybe a stand-up. I know Vonna Pfeiffer has some really cool tutorials on how to make different finishes for your projects. So I'm going to take a look at her things, but I did not finish this on my cruise. I was too busy drinking and eating and having a wonderful time, but I did get it mostly done. I finished it after I got home. So that also is my 4th finish of the year, which was my goal for WIPGO, 4 finishes this year. So I made my goal. I'm really excited about that. The last couple of years I've had probably no finishes. So that was very cool. So I love that. And that is a Mill Hill button and beads kit called Into the Woods, in case anybody wants to look for it. My next call for October, I haven't started yet. I am way behind. Today is the 17th. But it is Thomas Kincaid. And so I have quite a collection to choose from. So I'm thinking what I'll probably work on for 5 days is this Savannah Romance. I do love this, but I think you guys have heard me say before, this picture has nothing to do with the finished results. That is a picture of the painting. This is a 16 count, 14 count Ada kit by Candemar Designs. So that finished painting and The cross stitch, not really the same. Not the same level of detail at all, as you can see. But it is very pretty. And I love all the pink colors in the trees. I love the purple. So it's still pretty, but not quite what that picture shows. This, as with all kits, I'm just using what came in the kit. So this is 14 count Ada and their pre-sorted floss, which was actually one that was pre-sorted, which is nice. A lot of these old Thomas Kincaid kits are not pre-sorted, and you have to spend a lot of time sorting them ahead of time. So I think that's what I'm going to do for October for my second call. We'll see how it goes. Might be something else. I have two or three other Kincaids. I have another Kincaid that only needs backstitch, but of the 4 calls left in the year, one of them is something that only needs backstitch. So I'm thinking I might finish that for that call when it comes up. It's either going to be November or December. So kind of planning ahead just a little bit maybe, but we'll see what strikes me, what mood strikes me when I finally have a little time to devote to my stitching. So okay, so other projects that I worked on since my last update have been a lot of needlepoint. So I was working on this orange tree. Now, being needlepoint, I know this is kind of, it's hard to see a little bit what I've done and what I haven't done, but I did a lot of work here in this this whole area with the tree. This is a Bothy Threads canvas, and it did come as a kit, so I'm just using their kit materials with this one as well. Another one that is also needlepoint that I started working on was this Sun, Sea, and Sand canvas. I really love this canvas. This is a fun one because what I'm doing with this, there is no stitch guide. There's no kit. I just bought the canvas. So I'm taking my DMC and I'm doing my own thing here. So you can see on this side, I've kind of made my own kind of vertical and diagonal kind of stitches, horizontal at the top. So just to make it kind of fun. And then in this area over here, I actually learned a new type of stitch. And it's a form of brick stitch that I've done with the S. I haven't gotten very far. All I did was the S. So because there's lots of big spaces in here, there's only so many colors, like all these big spaces. This is a great one for practicing different stitches and doing something different, not just filling it in with half cross stitch, which or 10 stitch, which are honestly the same thing. You just stitch them in a little bit different direction if you're following the rules, but they are the same exact thing. So when you think needlepoint stitch, what most people think of as needlepoint is basically a half cross stitch. So that is how a lot of them are done. That's how the orange tree is completely done in that half cross stitch. This one I'm having fun with. And I'm having fun, but it takes longer because you have to think it through and you have to think about what kind of stitch is going to look good in that area. What color do I want? Do I like the color that it's done in? Because guess what? You can cover it in a different color. The same way that you can do a color conversion in cross stitch. So I've been working on that a little bit and having a really fun time, kind of doing those different stitches. But again, it's taxing on the brain sometimes, and I think that's why a lot of times I like the cross stitch better because it tells you what to do. You just follow the pattern, and that when you've had a long day at work and you've had to think all day, just following the pattern is sometimes blissful. So another project that I picked up and did a little work on is my Teresa Wentzler mermaid. This is an old kit from the 90s, but beautiful, just beautiful. Teresa Wentzler, I'm so sad she got out of designing because she just made such amazing things. So this I'm doing with all the kit materials. Again, it's a 28 count even weave. Came with all of the floss. And here she is. She's getting so close to done. I just have that little bottom corner, the bottom of the border, and her skin to finish up. It looks really funny right now. Her skin is like nearly glowing the area where that skin is supposed to be. The skin is done over one. Um, so there you go. Now it's focusing. So that is kind of crazy. That takes a lot of work to do that over one skin, but you can see that the result is just beautiful. So getting there. This is one of those projects that I think you just have to expect to take a long time because it's just so ornate. And everything is a blend. If you haven't done a Teresa Wensler, they are gorgeous. They are amazing, but she doesn't like using a single color by itself. She likes blending them together. So um, it makes for some beautiful effects, but it can be incredibly tedious. So that's why this is another one that I sometimes kind of set aside for a while because it's like, okay, my brain can't take making all of these blends all the time. The other thing that I worked on a bit, and oddly, this captured my attention for a while right before I left, which is funny because this is a pretty involved kit, is my Irish mandala. So, this is what I've gotten done on it. Isn't it beautiful? Got to get it in front of my microphone there. Uh, very intricate work, a lot of specialty threads. It's just, I mean, this is stunning to me. Just look at it. It's gorgeous. So I'm once I get moving on it, like this is one of those things. I think it's this is a chatelaine. Uh chatelaine is what some people say, but I know it is chatelaine. So these are scary. I'm going to say that right away. They are scary. This is the materials. This is a gallon-sized Ziploc bag. It is 100% full. And putting the kit together is crazy for these, okay? Um, there are places that will do it for you. It's expensive. It's a lot of specialty threads, but it is worth it. I mean, look at this. Look at the colors. And that's just, I'm only in the tiniest little bit. I mean, you can see how big this fabric is. This is going to be a very large piece. And it's just so much fun to see this come to life. I am fighting myself because I am so tempted to start beading because the beads are beautiful and this whole center section is just full of beads. But I like to work on a key snap, so that's not going to be unless I can find a huge scroll frame to work off of. If I start beading, it's going to piss me off later. So fighting myself. I'm not letting myself do it, but I want to so bad because these are gorgeous. So again, this is the Irish mandala. It's chatelaine, and this is a Lugana that I'm working on. The color is light ash gray. Can you believe I kept the card? Should be so proud of me. I kept the card. I know what this is. Light ash gray, 28 count Lugana. It is a 31 by 31 inch piece of fabric. So yeah, this is huge. And I know I'm not showing you what the finished piece looks like because I just don't have the energy today, guys. I just told myself, get on here and put something up so people know that you didn't disappear, that you're still here, that you made it home from vacation. Yeah. So anyways, that is what I have worked on. So let's talk about vacation projects. You already saw the one, the Into the Woods kitties. There are a couple other things that I took with me. There was another Mill Hill kit that I took, but I never brought it out because I was working on that and I nearly got this one done. I was trying so hard. When we were getting off the ship, I was sitting in the lounge working on this project, trying to get it done while we waited to get off the ship, because that's how bad I wanted to finish it. But I finished it 2 days ago, so not bad. I got home almost a week ago, so that was pretty cool. That's the closest I've come to finishing something on vacation. Another thing that I was working on which is really just easy knitting, is this. It's called Gemini t-shirt. This is the front, although this is reversible, and this is the back. Really love the detail around the top. So it's getting there. It's got a ways to go. Quite the crop top right now. But I ran out of a ball of yarn, and so that was good enough. Kind of love how we get the pooling going with the colors. Kind of funky how that's working out, and I like that. So, but I worked on this a lot. This is, one of those projects that it is currently just straight knit around, no increases, no decreases. You're just going around and around and around. So this is great to just pick up when you can't sit still, which is my problem usually. Can't sit still, so just grab it and do a couple rounds. So I got a bit of that done while I was on my trip. And then the other thing that I started on my trip, or I think the day before I left or something, is this shawl. Hard to see because it's still on the needles. Yeah, a little hard to see. Let me see if I can get this to be a little less fiddly. So this is called Sand Harbor. This is being done in lace. It is pretty intricate. Unfortunately, I found a mistake and I had to put it in timeout. So it's I've got to rip back one row or figure out where that mistake is and see if I can fix it without ripping back. So I put it in timeout because when you're pissed at it, that is not a good time to fix it. Wait until you're not pissed anymore. This is the rest of the yarn. It's a beautiful gradient that goes from brown through gray to blue. So I am going to finish this. It's not going to stay in timeout forever. I've learned my lesson with that. If you leave it too long, you forget where you were and what the hell you were doing. So it will get done. But that's how much I got done on my trip, which is a lot. You would not believe how many people would stop me at the pool deck and say, "Oh my gosh, what are you making? Show me this. This is beautiful." It was a cool way to talk to people and meet people when I was sitting out working on my stitching or my knitting. So the other thing, the last thing, as part of our trip, we were in London and we went to Hampton Court Palace, which was a bucket list place for me. I am a huge Tudor fan, as some of you already know by my stitching. And so Hampton Court Palace was a big Tudor palace. I could talk about for forever, and I won't do that. I won't bore you guys to death, but the Royal School of Needlework is on the grounds of Hampton Court Palace, and they have a shop. I knew this ahead of time, so I was very excited to go there. So I picked this up while we were there from the shop. It is a needlepoint kit. Anne Boleyn is my favorite queen. So, of course, because it's me, I had to work on it while I was gone. So here's what I have done. This is, I know it's hard to see, but it's basically like all in her face that I have done. Isn't she beautiful? And I also picked up this needle minder at their shop, which is so cute. I love it so much, the thistle. So yeah, that was a dream for me to go into their shop and see some of their stuff. And it was funny because my husband was looking at things on the wall and that weren't even for sale and saying, "Well, you should make that." I was like, that's not available. And some amazing person who goes to this school made that, and I couldn't even hope to be that good. So I guess it's good that he thinks I have such skills. So that's what I worked on while I was on vacation. And of course, there were some new purchases while I was there. So Amblin, obviously. I also, when we got into Tenerife, Spain, which is really just off the coast of Africa, I found a yarn store. You guys, I was so excited. There's nothing like getting to a yarn store in another country because it was all Spanish yarn. It was all stuff I'd never seen before. Funnily enough, the shopkeeper, who is this sweet woman, did not speak a lick of English. She had a little bit, a tiny bit. And I only speak Sesame Street Spanish. Just the things that I've learned watching Sesame Street and, from school when I was a kid, because I grew up in LA, so you kind of have to know a little bit of Spanish or you pick it up if you pay attention. So I'm not really useful with that. But we were able to communicate. And so I bought a few things. The first thing I got is this collection of yarns. This is a macrame yarn. I'm still trying to figure out the weight on this. I'm going to say it's about my brain just went blank. Oh my goodness. I'm so tired. Um, I think this is about worsted weight. Maybe a little lighter than worsted weight. But I love these colors. So I'm going to figure out something to make with this. I'm thinking a bag, either a purse type of bag or like a grocery shopping bag is what I'm going to make out of this. So that was really cool. And then another thing, oh, sorry, this is going to be very crinkly because it's still in the bag. I got 5 skeins of this yarn. This is more like fingering weight or just a little heavier. Look at these. Look at these pretty colors. Oh, they're not showing up well. This one is so much greener. This is like a teal. I think maybe my shirt, more turquoise really. But anyways, so she was wearing a shirt that she had made, and it was made out of these. And somehow we were able to communicate enough that it took 5 balls and it was crochet, which I also do. So she even gave me the pattern for it, which is so adorable of her, which is in Spanish, of course, but I think I can get it translated well enough. So there may be another t-shirt in my future. We'll see. I might check to see if I can find some other things. So, oh my gosh, I had such a great time. So let's talk about a couple of new starts first before we go into the vacation talk, because I'm sure some people really don't care and I don't blame you. So first thing I want to show you is I have a friend who posted on Facebook with this adorable little pattern. Can you, there we go, getting a little less glare. How freaking cute is that? It's called Highland Cow. It is just the cutest freaking thing, baby blanket. So what I love about what she did is she posted on Facebook and she said, I love this. Is there anyone who could make this for me? I will pay for materials. And you know what? I love that because a lot of people will text me or call me or message me and say, hey, can you make this for me? And my first reaction is no, I don't want to. But the way that she did it so openly, she wasn't expecting anybody, and she already understood that it costs money. Like, that's the one thing that it really gets to me sometimes is people act like if you knit it or crochet it or cross stitch it, it's free. It's not free. And actually it costs more than if you buy it in the store. So I just really appreciate the way she did that. And it's adorable. So I said, yes, of course I will. Of course I'll make this for you. And I said, I'll get the pattern. I've already found it because I, of course, had already gotten into Ravelry on the ship, by the way. So shows you how crafty I am. Got into Ravelry, found the pattern, said, I'll purchase it. I'll get all the stuff and I'll let you know what it costs when I'm done. So I have already started on it, of course, because I started back to work Monday, and took a little breaky to go to Hobby Lobby. So far, I have got 2 little horns done. Look at how cute they are. The horns for the cow. And 2 little ears. They're so cute. So, yeah, I love this. I'm so excited. The timing, though, sucks. And the reason why I say that is because just this week, crochet along started. This is the sheepies. Sheepies. It's Dutch, and Dutch is horrible to pronounce. Festival of Lights crochet along. This is the pattern that I bought. There were 2 different colorways, and they were only slightly different. It was because of the different yarns used. So this is Organicon, which is an organic cotton, and this is what I'm making. So I mean, look at the colors in this. It's gorgeous. We just got the first pattern piece yesterday. So I spent all yesterday crocheting. So my poor little cow is gonna have to wait a little bit. So I'm not gonna show you the whole box of yarn because it's crazy, and I might have actually done that because I think I got it. I can't remember. But anyways, so the first piece of the pattern says make 60, that is 60 triangles. Yep, 60. That's only the first piece. There's also going to be squares and some other things. And so I have 6 of them done. So they're just these little triangles, and they gave us a little thing to print out so that you could print out labels so that you don't mix them up, because honestly, when I get to it, am I going to remember this orange and yellow one goes here? No. Then another orange and yellow one, and look, another orange and yellow one. Well, kind of yellow and yellow. But so I have 6 done out of 60. They're giving us 2 weeks. If you follow the crochet along, and I know some of you particularly who follow my videos know that those dates mean nothing. Let's be real. We do it on our time, right? We do it on our time, so it doesn't matter. But the next piece comes out in 6 weeks, or 6 weeks, 2 weeks, and we're supposed to have 60 triangles made by that time. So I hope you're laughing. I'm laughing. There's no way. I'd have to make basically what I figured it out was 4.28 triangles a day over 2 weeks. Nobody's got that kind of time. These do take a little bit of time. They're a little fiddly. It's 4 rows in each one, four different rows in the triangle. And you're changing colors quite a bit. There's a lot of ends. And I am putting, you can see I'm getting my ends in as I go, because if all the ends are left at the end, I will throw this away. I will be like, nope, screw this thing. So I'm doing them as I go. But that's a lot. Any of you who crochet would know it's ridiculously a lot. So there is no hope of this being done in 2 weeks, unless, I don't know, if I get the flu or something, maybe. Yeah, maybe I could just lay there and crochet, but probably not. So that's okay. But these colors are just so pretty. I really excited about it. All the colors in this are amazing. And so far it's working up really nice. So that is going to take a lot of my time, unfortunately. And then that Highland cow, which I love and I want to get it done. My friend is a therapist, and she wants to have it for her office, so that when she has patients with trauma, they can snuggle up with this cow blanket. And I think that is the sweetest thing. So, yeah, it's just so cool. So I'm very excited to do that for her. So that is everything that I have been working on. And this is going to be like my longest video ever. So, vacation. Vacation was amazing. It was great. My map behind me has more pins in it now because I went to 4 places I'd never been, which is very cool. So we flew to London. We spent a few days in London hanging around. We had such a great time. Friends of ours met us in London. Friends who live in Fresno met us in London, and we hung out together and went to pubs and went to the Borough Market, which was a blast. And went to Hampton Court. We just had a great time. Then we went down to Southampton and got on our cruise ship. Um, and then from there, we went to Portland, which is a town in England. It's a coastal town, obviously. And that was kind of cool. Place I'd never been before. Then we went to Vigo. I've heard it both ways, Spain, which was really fun. But oh my gosh, all of these places are on hills, so the walking was crazy. I cannot tell you how many steps I got in in these towns. Then we went to Madeira, Portugal, which was fun, and I went to Blandy's and tasted Madeira and brought some home. So that was very cool. And then Tenerife, Spain. So just very cool. couple of stops, with some sea days in between, most of them, and then 8 straight days across the Atlantic to Fort Lauderdale. So that's a long time, but let me tell you, it was wonderful. Loved every minute of it. And then unfortunately, Hurricane Milton happened. So we were in the middle of the Atlantic when we found out that Milton was on its way, and they closed the port of Fort Lauderdale. We were supposed to get into port on Wednesday, and the captain said, "Yeah, so they've closed the port. We're not going to do that. So we're gonna hang out in the Atlantic, and we'll go in on Friday, maybe." Because, obviously he can't control the hurricane. So he said, "We think the port will open on Friday, and we will, of course, let you know if that changes." So it was a little scary, I will admit, just a little scary not knowing how long we might be stuck on this cruise ship, but how fun. I mean, really, what a horrible thing to have your vacation extended by 2 days. So we went to Fort Lauderdale and got a couple people off the ship. We had a couple medical evacuations, which was unfortunate and a little scary. They had to take someone off by helicopter. It was amazing to see. The Coast Guard is amazing. Wow, those people are just so amazing at what they do. But that person, they never tell you, of course, confidentiality, what is going on with somebody, but they did update us later and tell us that person was doing fine. So that was good. But we basically sat outside the port of Fort Lauderdale while they did that. And so we could see where we're supposed to be. And we couldn't go, which was really weird. And there was no weather to speak of. It was gorgeous. It was 80 degrees. And there was no hurricane that we could see. So then we kind of headed out towards Cuba and just hung around. We could see Cuba for the next 2 days, and then came back. Luckily, Milton was not as big as they were afraid it might be. Thank God. I know it did some damage, but not the level that was originally expected. So that was good. And then we got into port on Friday. So those 2 extra days, in case anyone's curious, the way it works is you don't pay for that. So we still, our cruise, we paid for the days that we originally were going to pay for. All the packages and things that you purchase, like if you have a drink package, that just gets extended. And then one thing that they did that I thought was amazing of them, because honestly they didn't have to do it, they gave free internet access to everyone on the ship, so that you could get online and change your flights and do all the things that you needed to do because of the extra 2 days. So that honestly, it was a princess cruise, and I really commend them for doing that for people. We actually had internet as part of our package originally, so we still, we had already had that before, but I've been on a cruise without internet. And I know how scary that would have been to be like, well, but I have flights, I have things, airlines are not always that forgiving. So it was really cool of them to do that for people. So we did start running out of food. But we actually started running out mid-Atlantic. We we ran out of lettuce several days into the crossing. I guess people were just in salad mode. And then so there were some tomatoes, some types of tomatoes that were out. We ran out of bananas. And then anything that could be used to make a Bloody Mary was gone. They had vodka, but no tomato juice, no Bloody Mary mix, no Clamato, no no anything, no pasta sauce. We ran them out of Bloody Marys, which was pretty funny. But like those are a problem, right? I mean, the lack of lettuce got a little sad, because if you ordered a sandwich, at one point they were coming with cabbage on them, which is just not really what you think of when you get a sandwich. But you know, in the grand scheme of things, it really wasn't a big problem. So it all went well. We had an amazing time. I think we were a little sad to get off the ship, although my inner ear was happy, because I tell you what, the last couple days I've been still kind of rocking a little bit, which happens to me, unfortunately. but I'm back to normal now. So yeah, that's my crazy. It was an 18 night cruise that turned into a 20-night cruise. That is a long time to be on a ship, and I don't know if I want to do that long of a cruise again in the near future. That was a lot. My stomach does not thank me for that. Yeah, I gained 15 pounds. So I'm already down 5 just from not drinking all day every day, and passing by the pizza place and grabbing a slice every day. So several times a day, maybe. Yeah. So anyways, so that's my trip. And it was the best. But now I'm back. I am ready to go. I am reinvigorated and I want to work on projects so bad. I can't tell you. I have so much stuff I want to do. Um, so obviously I'm going to be working on that crochet along with the blanket. I'm going to be working on that Highland cow. Still, I'm going to finish out WIPGO strong. The October is throwing me just because I've been gone. And I didn't have a project with me. It would have been impossible to plan for that. But it's only the 17th, and I just need to work 5 days. So I'm gonna get that done. We're gonna finish WIPGO strong. I've already started my 2025 WIPGO board. I don't know how many other people have maybe my next Flosstuber, probably closer to the end of the year, I'll talk about what's on my new board because I am going to make some changes there, but I want to do WIPGO again. I am hoping Heaven and Earth Designs does another stitch along this year because after watching everybody's projects and seeing that it is a smaller piece of a chart and not the huge whole chart, depending on what they do, if they do that again, I want to do that. Not really because I want the free charts, but just because it's been so fun watching everybody working on that. So I think I follow like 10 different people who've been working on different pieces from that stitch along. So I want to do that. I also really want to get into more of my whips this year. Some of you will be really happy to hear that I want to do a whip parade. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud. I'm going to do a whip parade for you guys in December or January. It's probably going to be two floss tubes long because I don't know that I have the strength to sit here and show you everything of my 50 plus projects. But yeah, so watch out. It's all coming. I am really wanting to get back in the swing and get moving. I have a lot of stitching I want to get done. So stay tuned. I think it's all coming together. So if you stayed this long, thank you for that. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for watching, for following, like, subscribe, all that jazz. But thank you so much. And I am so far behind on your videos and I cannot wait to get into them because that is what I missed when I was on my trip is watching your videos. So I'm going to get into that and you'll be seeing some comments from me because you all get me so excited to do my stitching. So can't wait to see that. So hope you're having a great day. Enjoy your stitching and I'm sure I will talk to you soon.